Thank you so much, Wasim. It's an honor to be here. Hello, Aisha. I'm so excited. I know we've taken my schedule has not made it easy to start this interview, but I'm so grateful for your patience and so excited to be here. Thank you. Sure. Well, I'm from the USA. I was born in the South, the southern states, but I've spent almost my entire life in Pennsylvania, which is in the north, the Northeast. So I live in the suburbs of Philadelphia, so just outside near Valley Forge, where General Washington had his troops and all of that. There's a lot of history where I live, and we're getting ready to be in autumn. So the colors of the trees are changing. It's really beautiful in Pennsylvania.
Okay, yes, it really, yeah, I think it's a beautiful place. I think it has a lot of greenery also,
Oh yeah, a
and
lot of trees.
yeah, and the change of color you're talking about, it really looks beautiful when you see the leaves change from green to red, and the brown and the reddish color. It's really looks very wonderful. So. We would love to know more about you and your family background, please. Would
Sure,
you elaborate a
sure.
little? Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm one of 5 kids, so I have a big family. My parents were really, really amazing. So I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and we're all very, very close. We don't all live in Pennsylvania, but we're sort of generally nearby, close enough to visit frequently and have holidays together. And I'm very blessed because we enjoy each other. You know, we love each other, enjoy each other, and make each other laugh, and that's great. My parents were. My dad was from the north, Wisconsin, and he's of German and French and English descent. And my mom was from the south, Mississippi, and she's Scotch-Irish. So they met in Maryland, and then moved to the Philadelphia area first. And so I think the fact that he's from the north, she's from the south, it sort of made us very balanced in our thinking, you know, different sort of philosophies, different, even sort of slightly different religions, you know, coming together and just making us be very even and balanced. And I think that really informed my life, the way that I think. I miss them dearly. They're both gone now, my parents.
Oh, sorry for that. So, yeah, it's quite, you're quite seasoned, if I can say that your dad was from, you say, Wisconsin?
Yeah, yeah.
And your yeah, and he was from French or German origin, and your mom an Irish yeah, lady. So really great. So would you like to share your OnPassive story with us, and the transformation it has brought to you, to your personal and professional aspects?
Sure. Well, I heard about it. I wasn't looking for anything, right? I've had a regular job, and I was just not looking, not really successful with online things at all. But a friend of mine that I had been working on a project with reached out to me and said, you know, you should take a look at this. It's really massive. And I just remember him saying that word, and it just resonated with me. So I asked him, I said, well, will this be a conflict of interest with what we're working on or what we have worked on? And he said, I wouldn't be here if it was. And that was just all I needed to hear, that because I didn't want to do anything that was going to be competing with anything else I was working on, because the other thing was also humanitarian and that kind of thing. So I jumped in, I watched the videos with Ash, and I just never looked back. I never looked back. He just spoke right to my heart, right to my soul. And then I just jumped in, and sadly, my sponsor is no longer with us. He passed away, but he left such an enormous legacy of love. He was the most loving leader. He brought so many people to OnPassive, and we're going to, you know, do great things because of because of him, in honor of him. His name was Fred Langschwager. And I know when I say that, many people out there are going to say, I knew Fred. Fred brought me, and he had such a huge impact. So, yeah, I'm very grateful to him. And as far as changing my life, I don't even recognize, well, I can't say that really. I recognize myself as who I really am. Almost like OnPassive brought out who I really am, my more loving nature. In the wider world, sometimes you become hard. You're out there, working hard, and it sort of it sort of hardens you in a way, dealing with life. But OnPassive has made us playful again, made us more like children, creative, just very lighthearted, loving. So as far as transformation, I just am completely different from when I joined. It brought out who I really am, and I think it's done that for all of us.
Yes, well said. It is really done this too. I think every individual who is a founder, or you, I think we all founders have uh, 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 gone through such changes, and we really feel like that we are a totally different person now from where we started. So, yeah, now I think my favorite question, reflecting on Mr. Ash Mufareh role as our CEO and the impact he has had, what qualities do you believe makes him extraordinary?
Well, the obvious answer is his heart, right? Who else on the earth has a heart like him? But for me, it's the way he thinks. He's never looking at the problem. He doesn't focus on the problems. He's always focusing on solutions, and it totally changes the way that you think. And when we sit in a meeting with him and we see him do that in action, it helps us to grow. He doesn't accept the way things are. He doesn't say, oh, well, that's just the way it is. No, he doesn't. He says we can do better, and we're going to do better, and we're going to never give up on it. I think he loves humanity unconditionally. I've seen him in meetings where, maybe somebody came on the meeting from the outside and was unkind or something like that. And the graciousness and the patience and the acceptance and love with which he speaks to people, all of us, is unprecedented. I've never met anybody in my life like that. And he sees the pure potential in all of us. When he looks at you, Aisha, he sees Aisha in all of her, everything that Aisha can do, everything that Wasim can do, everything that I can do. And it helps us live up to that. It helps us want to be better. And that's huge. That's just really huge. He expands our minds, our hearts. And he remains human. He's a regular guy. He's funny. He's approachable. He's adorable, but he's also a genius, like serious, technically minded, like just a brilliant genius person. And that doesn't always go hand in hand with being like approachable and lovable and, very human. You might get someone that's very driven if they're geniuses. And so I think he's just extraordinary. I don't think there's anybody like him. And I think once the world gets to know him, they're just going to fall in love. They're just going to fall in love with him. So yeah, it's great. He's amazing.